All right, ladies, I am so glad you're here this morning or this afternoon, I should say, for ISO Prosperity Sisterhood. We've had some great celebrations this morning, some sideline coaching or sharing or oversharing, who knows? I love it, and I'm here for it. So this morning, I wanted to bring you something because right now the world feels a little heavy. There's a lot going on. And then we have our own worlds and our own vision and our own things that we are striving for and things that our heart wants. And that is, we need some worldly resilience. We have available to us these beautiful bricks and anchors of resilience that in this world we need. Like, we cannot see what's going around us, swirling, all this chaos, all this kind of bad energy. We cannot see that kind of thing and not kind of just feel down. I shared this a few weeks ago about how a few years ago, waiting for my rainbow baby, I just felt this sense of desperation. And at the time, our country was going into another conflict. And here we are again. Okay. And that kind of worldly chaos, that swirl, that upheaval, that ick, we need resilience against that to fortify, to build a wall between us and the world. Okay. Because we have beautiful God-given visions about all these little things and all these details. And it's just sometimes we only see a pocket of it at a time. Sometimes we see the whole thing. Whether we have to be zoomed out or zoomed in from day to day, these bricks of resilience are again what build that wall between us and all that worldly stuff that's going on. When we look at those big, heavy, icky things out there in the world, we need something to lean back on. We need something that um, reminds us who we are and what we're doing. And so I just, I have this short list of reminders of these bricks that we can fortify. He does. We're watching Land Before Time. Sharp teeth. Okay. So I have this list of bricks and I'm going to rapid fire them. We go into these deeper in our sisterhood handbook, and we usually do that on Thursday. It's just that deep, intense, intimate deep dive for ourselves, maybe even a little more masterclass style. But they are this. And I wrote them down so I didn't miss anything and I stayed on track. Okay. The first is our beliefs. What do we believe? What do we believe about ourselves? What does God tell us about ourselves? What do we believe about the world? What do we believe about our relationships? What do we believe? Right? And this is everything from alongside believing in God and the divine, alongside the other things like, hey, I believe I'm a good mom or I'm the fun mom, right? Like how does that look? I believe that you if you get 5 minutes of the first sunlight in the day, that your day is set right, right? Like everything in between. Those are your beliefs. Every little teeny tiny thing. Okay. And especially these are things that we believe when the world is not clapping or not watching. These are just for us. The second is your affirmed narrative. These are the words we choose to rehearse. with ourselves instead of rehearsing that despair and that fear and that heaviness that's going on in the world. The third is beauty. And those are the moments that remind our nervous system that life is still good. It is still good. And whether it's something we notice in the moment or we ask ourselves to notice, right? You go out in the day and say, I want to notice all the pink flowers today, right? You go out in the day and it's barely spring, but we didn't have winter. We were talking about that in our earlier in our pre-session. Like anything green, like notice all the green things, right? That beauty. The fourth is evidence. And that is your successes, your wins, the survival stories, the things that you've already done, the things that are checked off. I just get this visual because I do a lot of boxes and talking about like write a box next to that so you can check it off. Highlight those things. And then the fifth is gratitude. Because when we catalog our abundance, that itself can be extrapolated out, can be built upon, and can really be dug deep and anchored into. When we can really pick something apart and not only say one thing about that one thing that you're grateful for, but everything therefore and after and before and into like all the stuff, right? And so these bricks, this is what I call confidence stacking. And when we can contend with the world around us with these types of bricks, that again build that wall between us and the world. And who is us, right? It's that woman that's holding that vision. And when we can build a wall between us and all the other crap that's going on, people look at us and are like, you like, do you even know what's going on? And you're like, yeah, but I got a wall. Like, I'll be fine. Right? Like, I have this filter. I have this thing that says, no, keep your like this. Yeah. We've been watching a little racing horse movie, and so you get the blinders on, right? Like, have that wall built for yourself. And so as we go into our discussion this morning, I'm curious, what's one of the first bricks when I list these out? Your beliefs, your affirmed narrative, the beauty around you, the evidence, and the gratitude. Like, if there was one you could pick up right now, what would it be? And then what would the next one be? Right? Like, or maybe what's the easiest one for you to pick up? I know for some people, it's definitely not gratitude. They've heard that word too much, right? I'm here to change that. But like maybe there's one that's not easy for you to pick up. We can talk about that. Maybe there's one that's so easy for you to pick up. You're like, I don't know about the rest of these, right? Like, what are those for you? And from there, we're going to make it happen. So let's go into our live discussion and we'll talk soon.